You know that immediate, like, stomach-dropping dread? That feeling you get when something digital just goes wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you get an email alert, 3 a.m., password change you definitely didn't make. Or, worse, your laptop's missing, and you've got absolutely no idea what to do right now.
It's pure digital panic. It
Yeah.
really is the worst. And that panic, well, it just makes things harder. Doesn't help at all.
Exactly. It always seems to hit when you're least prepared, most stressed.
Which leads to bad decisions, rushed ones. So this deep dive, it's all about trying to eliminate that moment of chaos.
That's the plan. We're doing a strategic deep dive into digital defense, specifically incident response, or IR. We've basically pulled a blueprint for handling these digital disasters, getting the most actionable stuff from a really valuable Substack. It's called Complete Guide to Incident Response Controls.
And look, the key thing right up front is this guide. And what we're talking about today, it isn't about telling you to go buy some expensive, complicated new software. Not at all. It's purely about using the features you probably already have, like your phone's tracking or your bank's alert system.
Right.
And just putting a structure around them. We want to give you a ready-made plan, something built on low-cost or even no-cost steps, so you can be prepared, not, panicking.
Okay, let's unpack this then. The Substack lays out 8 essential IR controls. To make it digestible, we're grouping them. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Logically. First, the foundational documents, then immediate action steps, and finally, preparation and validation, like testing.
Good structure.
We have to start with the paperwork, I guess, because if the plan doesn't exist on paper or digitally somewhere,
Yeah.
the rest doesn't matter much.
Exactly. So first up is IR1,
Yeah.
your overview. Think of it as the foundational roadmap. And what's interesting is the experts writing this insist it should be just a single page.
Wow, okay. 1 page. You usually see these huge security manuals. Why so brief?
Because complexity, it just kills action when you're in a crisis. IR1 isn't the whole manual, it's more like the index, the table of content.
Gotcha.
It points to 3 really critical things. 1, where your detailed recovery plans are actually stored. 2, what digital assets you value most, maybe specific crypto wallets or vital business files.
Okay.
And 3, maybe the most important, the clear line, the threshold for when you stop trying to fix it yourself and you call for outside professional help. Like, when does a weird login attempt become a real emergency call?
Defining that threshold.
Yeah,
Yeah, that alone seems worth doing. That's where you freeze up usually, right?
Yeah.
Decision fatigue.
it really is. Okay, so now let's look at 2 other key documents that support this. There's IR8, your emergency contact list.
Right.
And this isn't just, writing down the bank's main phone number. It's about capturing the specific, sometimes unique verification details you'll need when you call them under pressure.
What kind of details?
Things like account verification codes, maybe recovery keys, or the answer to that security question you set up years ago and barely remember.
Oh, that's a fantastic point. Yeah, trying to find a 16-digit recovery key when you're stressed. Impossible. The last thing you want to be doing.
Absolutely. And the last piece in this foundational set is IR6, incident reporting.
Incident reporting.
Okay.
Most people probably think, well, I'm not a company. This doesn't apply to me.
That's a common thought, but the Substack makes it really clear. Some personal incidents, especially things like serious identity theft or a major financial compromise, they might actually come with an obligation to report them.
Okay, that's important.
Sure.
So if I'm just a regular listener, who am I reporting to? It's not always the police, is it?
Correct. It depends. Knowing that obligation ahead of time is key. Based on where you live and what happened, you might need to report to specific government agencies, maybe the big credit bureaus, or even let your insurance company know.
So having that list ready.
Yeah, a pre-written who to notify list, maybe broken down by the type of incident. It saves huge headaches, legal and financial, down the road.
Okay, so that's the foundation. The roadmap, the contact details with verification info, and knowing your reporting duties. Now we pivot to the immediate action controls, the stuff you do in the first minutes.
Right, this is where IR4 comes in. Incident handling. The Substack calls it something brilliant. The 2 a.m. plan.
The 2 a.m. plan. I like that.
The insight here is really behavioral. When you're under extreme stress, your thinking ability, it just degrades significantly. You can't think clearly.
Yeah, fight or flight kicks in.
Exactly. So the 2 a.m. plan is basically your pre-planned intelligence, your brain, written down before the panic hits.
That's a great way to frame it. It makes the plan a tool for, mental stability. So this is the step-by-step guide written before you're stressed.
Precisely.
Like, what are the first 3 things you do if your main email gets hacked? Step 1, change the password on your most critical linked account probably banking first.
Good one, yeah.
Step 2, maybe notify your credit card company, put them on alert. Step 3, give your close contacts a heads up about possible phishing from your account. Having those specific actions listed out, priceless.
Absolutely priceless. And look, none of that matters if you only find out about the hack 2 weeks later.
Sure.
Which brings us neatly to IR5, incident monitoring. This one is simple, everyone can do it, and it's high impact. Just turn on security alerts for every important account you have.
Email, banking.
Banking, investment platforms, cloud storage, yeah. Everything critical.
We've all heard stories, right? Someone checks their statement finally and realizes money's been trickling out for weeks.
That's exactly the failure IR5 prevents. You want to know immediately if there's weird activity. It's the difference between catching a suspicious $100 charge right away and getting it reversed versus, $10,000 in fraud that just grows because you were completely unaware. And enabling this, often it's just ticking a box in settings or allowing push notifications. Truly no cost.
Okay, so we've got the action plan and the early warning system. Now let's talk about the cluster that's all about preparation, making sure the plan actually, works when you need it. Verification and practice.
Right. This starts with IR3, testing. A plan might look great on paper, but if it fails technically when you try to use it, it's completely worthless.
Makes sense.
You absolutely have to check that your technical setups actually function.
Testing sounds obvious, but what are the common things people miss? What did the Substack highlight as failure points?
Oh, there's a fantastic kind of scary example. Many people, they store their recovery keys or the password for Find My Device on the very device they're trying to find or recover.
Oh no, so if it's lost or stolen,
your whole recovery plan is instantly useless. Testing means things like, can you actually log into your backup email from a different secure device? Does Find My Device show the right location? Can it actually receive a remote wipe command? Find these problems now while things are calm.
That makes testing feel much more concrete, much more real. Okay, so the tech works. Then we need to make sure the human works under pressure. That brings us to IR2, training.
Training is so vital because the reality of an emergency, the adrenaline, the fear, it's totally different from just knowing the steps in theory. You need that muscle memory.
Training sounds good, but, people are busy. How does the Substack suggest people practice this without it becoming some boring, time-sucking security drill?
Good question. They recommend simple, low-friction stuff. First, mental walkthroughs. Just take 10 minutes, maybe once a month, and mentally run through the IR4 steps for a made-up incident, like a lost phone.
Okay, just thinking it through.
Second, scheduled low-stakes checks. Maybe every 6 months, actually practice locating your phone remotely using the Find My service, or confirm you can log into that critical backup account without needing your password manager.
Little checks.
Yeah, it's about repeated, simple engagement, not hours-long tabletop exercises unless you want to do that.
That feels much more practical, easier to fit into a busy life.
Yeah.
Okay, last one in this preparation cluster, IR7, getting help.
Right. Because incident response shouldn't be something you try to do totally alone. This control is about looking up those professional lifelines before you need them.
What kind of lifelines?
We're talking dedicated fraud departments at your bank, maybe specialized identity theft recovery services, vetted tech support lines that are legitimate.
Why is finding them beforehand so critical? Can't I just Google, help my account got hacked when it happens?
Well, you can, but think about it. When you're panicked and desperate, you're really vulnerable. Vulnerable to scammy services, predatory companies, or just plain bad, outdated advice you find online.
Well, good point.
IR7 is about proactively vetting and saving the contact info for reliable, trustworthy help. You want to be sure the people you call in a crisis are actually there to help you, not exploit the situation.
Okay, that covers all 8 controls: foundational docs, immediate actions, and preparation testing. But wow, that still feels like a lot for someone starting from scratch. How does the Substack suggest making this achievable? What's the absolute starting point?
Yeah, it can feel overwhelming. They break it down, starting with quick wins, things you can do like today that give you the biggest bang for your buck, security-wise.
Okay, let's walk through those quick wins. High-impact tasks for you, the listener, right now.
Okay. Step 1. Right now, or right after this, turn on security alerts for your main email and your main bank accounts. That gets IR5 monitoring going immediately.
Easy enough. Step 2.
Step 2. If you haven't, enable Find My Device or similar tracking and remote wipe features on your phone, your laptop. This helps with IR3 testing later and IR4 handling if something happens.
Got it. 2 down.
Step 3. Pick one common scenario. Let's say your email gets compromised and just write down the first 3 steps you'd take. Doesn't have to be perfect, just start your IR4 plan.
Okay, first 3 steps for email hack.
And step 4.
Step 4. Find and save the actual verified customer service numbers for your, say, 3 most critical accounts. Bank, maybe main email provider, credit card. So you don't accidentally call a fake support number you found in a phishing email or dodgy website later.
Those are all super actionable. Feels like you could do that in under an hour. Easy. Totally. Once those quick wins are done, then you move into building out the documentation, creating the actual structure we talked about.
This is where you flesh things out.
Right. This is where you focus on the content. For your IR1 overview, decide on that threshold for getting external help. Is it any data loss? Is it over $500 gone? Write it down. Doesn't need to be fancy. A secure note on your phone in a password manager, that works.
Okay.
Then take a bit more time. Build that who to notify list for IR6. Research those professional help resources for IR7. And the experts suggest actually scheduling time, maybe this week, to test just one piece of your setup, like sending a test email to your recovery address to make sure you can access it. That's IR3. Validate your effort.
So phase 1 is activating the tech you have. Phase 2 is writing down the plan. What comes after that? Because incident response isn't a one-time project, right? It's ongoing.
Exactly. It has to be ongoing because your digital life is always changing. New accounts, new devices, new threats. So maintenance is key.
What does maintenance look like?
It involves reviewing everything, maybe every few months. Check. Is that bank fraud number still correct? Are your emergency contacts up to date? And then regularly test different parts of your system.
So if I tested my phone recovery back in January,
maybe in April, you test logging into your backup email or you verify your bank's alert settings are still active. Mix it up.
Okay.
And importantly, keep practicing those scenarios when you can, even if it's just those quick mental run-throughs we mentioned for IR2 training. Keep updating contact info, recovery details as things change.
The core lesson here feels really clear. All this prep work, it just lifts that huge mental burden, the burden of trying to figure everything out while you're in full panic mode.
It really is the ultimate insurance policy against digital chaos. The value isn't in complexity. It's purely in having a pre-thought-out, structured plan, written down, stored somewhere safe and accessible. It's not about fancy tools. It's preparation, it's discipline, and it's using the features you likely already have.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for what might come next. The Substack mentioned their next deep dive is going to be on access control. You know, the basic question of who gets access to what in your digital life.
Access control. Foundational stuff.
So if we spend all this time detailing how to recover systems using these IR controls we just discussed, what does that tell us about who should have access in the first place? How carefully do we need to manage those permissions before anything even goes wrong?
That's a fantastic question to leave people with. It really frames the connection. If recovery is this involved, maybe involving 8 distinct steps while you're stressed, shouldn't we be much, much stricter about preventing the problem in the first place? Through better access control.
Prevention and planning. They really are 2 sides of the same coin, aren't they?
Absolutely. They feed into each other.
Well, hopefully this framework was useful for you listening. If it was, maybe share it. As the Substack pointed out, everyone needs this stuff before they actually need it, so maybe get started on those quick wins today.